Yeah. Oh, yeah, eh? Here we go. We're doing the live stuff. Okay, so we're doing that there. We're doing that there. What are we doing for Twitch? So I got to do my tweets. Where's my tweets going? Okay, my tweets are going over here. This should be good. I'm hoping I can actually bring Vincenzo's tweets in when he talks as well. Let's do this. Twitter. The Twitters. Bring on me Twitters. All right, how we doing? We got live, we got sound. I've got my mic. I'm assuming we're going to hear Vincenzo when he goes in. Oh my gosh. I've been up since 5 a.m. wandering around trying to figure this out. No. 5 a.m. I've done, at least what have I done? I've filmed, I've driven for 4 hours, and I've come back and I'm ready to rock and roll on some rats. Got some rats. Because despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Do I have interwebs? Are we connected? Drop frame 0, live 1 minute and 6. I'm not seeing any chat, which I don't quite understand, but I'm sure it'll all make sense later for me. Okay, so let's just go see what happens if I go over here. If I got this right. Have I got it right? Have I done it good? Got it. Get it. Got it. Good. All right, let's go to Twitch. No, that's Twitter. I want to go to Twitch. Twitch, please. All right, still nothing in the chat, which makes me very nervous. Okay, here we go. I'm a graveyard rat. Well, that's live. Okay, that's good. I can't tell if anyone could hear me or not, but I'm sure it'll all make sense later. Let me see if I can hear. Okay, that's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay, that's good. We got that. We got that. The monkey's parrot. The monkey's parrot. Hello. Is that my fabulous wife? Or is that just someone else doing the monkey's parrot? So I guess I should probably do my little tweets and say, hey, we're going live. All right, here we go. Oh, my God. Chloe Moretz has got a 4090 set up on her PC. I'm so jealous. Okay. And also jealous of the fact that she gets to do that amazing peripheral show as well. With my friend Vincenzo. All right, where are we going? Let's see what we've got here. For me. I don't want for me. I just want to see what's going on with the tweets. Okay, can I get rid of those? I can. Messages, explore. Can I do like, so what am I going to do? Do like a search for graveyard rats, and that will do my graveyard rats. Does that sound good? Graveyard rats. Where are we? There we go. Graveyard rats. Let's see what if I've got the right one here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh, yes. Practical effects. Here we go. Got the little trailer here. Why don't we just do this? All right. Quote tweet. I am live now, my little rodents. All right. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can get this right. It's going to be twitch.tv. Now, Professor James R. Dr. Gurney taught me that I don't have to type everything in. I can just type in David I. Hewitt. Is that right? Is that the right? I gotta make sure I got the right. I always put the HTTP, and apparently I get laughed at for that, for being an old guy who doesn't know any better. Because I'm an old guy who doesn't know any better. Basically, is the way it works. Here we go. Put that in there. All right. This is the real behind the scenes. I am live now, my little rodents. Talk. Graveyard rats. Let's do it. Graveyard. Grave. Can I spell? No. Graveyard rats. Of GDT, the man himself, the real GDTs. Cabinet of Curiosities. Here we go. Cabinet. I never trust. I don't know what the proper hashtags are, so I'm going to go with. Okay. There we go. That's out. Okay. Woohoo! All right. Go for Fluffernut. Lady Beaver. You know, because we got rats. Should be beavers as well. Monkeys and parrots. Am I fabulous? It's true. You're fabulous. Very, very fabulous. So, okay. So, here, I think I've got this sorted out now. Hear me out. How do I get the chat? How do I get the chat in the corner of my? I want to put the chat there. It'd be fun to have like move this over and put the chat in there like I used to do. It was so good. Window capture? Could that be it? Can I like? What if I? Can I pop this out or something? Chat settings. Is there like a link I need for that? You know, maybe this is too much for me to figure out right now. I've been up since 5. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to have a. That's a window. That's a window. What is that? Elephant robotics? No, that's not what I want. That's the other thing I wanted. Browser? Could it be any of these things? Browser 2, window capture? No, I feel like, Any bets on how badly he's gonna break things? Oh, I'm gonna break things badly. I've already broken things. You should have seen how grumpy I was with Jane trying to get this damn Zoom chat to work. So I've got a Zoom chat going, which I believe allows me to hear both Vincenzo and me and you two. Crackbone, thank you very much for subscribing. Ank, I can't believe how negative you are already. That's just shocking, really. Okay, I've got the Del Toro Graveyard Rats all set up, ready to stream. You guys won't see it because I'm going to watch it on my iPad because I've already seen it. And then we get to talk about it with Vincenzo, who has just got all of this stuff to share, too, which I'm really kind of excited about. So we got about 15 minutes until he shows up. But I wanted to just start because he's not doing the video part. Hello, LSLG. You saw this chapter, and oh my God, I was in shock. The scene, there's so many things. I mean, I don't even know how to do the spoiler thing because it's just, I sort of give up on spoilers already because I feel like if you are dying to see this, you can watch it. You can watch a little ahead of us if you want. But it's called Graveyard Rats. What a weird coincidence. I was watching you. It's so weird seeing you on TV. It's amazing, isn't it, Cal? Isn't it just like a great privilege and honor to know that you're a part of my real life, not just one of the rodents that I have to destroy in my mission on television. Now I brought a rat for us. It's hard to get him in frame properly. So, either he steals the whole thing, which is probably better. But, see, I was trying to find a good place for him, but I gave up because then I had to freak out then I was trying to figure out Zoom. But there is a rat here. Hello. Who will join us periodically. I've got him clamped to it. I got him clamped to a little tripod thing here. But I just thought we should have. It felt wrong to have like a Graveyard Rats with no rats, right? I mean, we could just point the camera at my backyard because periodically large Scandinavian rodents wander by, much to my wife's chagrin. But maybe I've got a camera that I could just. Wait a sec. If I do this, will you see this? Let's see if this happens. See what happens if I do this. If I go to. What have I got? Do I have any more video capture device? That's off. Is that on? Oh, there you go. There goes my rodent cam. There you go. Dead rodent cam. So, just to give you a little bearing as to where we are here. So that's me. That's a rat. Just somehow get this the better. There we go. This is all the setup. Don't tell Vincenzo I'm not a filmmaker. Okay. Here we go. This is Vincenzo's domain. He should really be setting up these shots. But hello is my little rat. I'll probably tell this to Vincenzo as well, but actually he would have known. What am I saying? So one of the things I did when we were doing the wardrobe fitting for this thing, I actually brought the rat with me. I brought this little guy right here with me to my wardrobe fitting because he's a fantastic prop that was made by some folks for us on Debug, and I just I've kept it as my little pleasure, my little guilty pleasure. Now what I haven't done is posted this to the Facebooks and stuff. Do I need to do that too? Oh my God, I'm so done on this whole number of social media. Although I may be cutting back. I don't know, depending what happens to Twitter. I'm not sure whether, I don't know. I watched this whole thing on space travel the other day, and I was like quite taken with all the stuff that Elon Musk's been doing with SpaceX. And then I don't know, man. It's just weird. I feel it's this weird kind of, I worry about out of touch millionaires, or maybe he's really in touch, or maybe I just don't understand. I don't know. But I don't know. Something kind of creepy about that whole thing. I hated the way the whole Ukraine thing went down with this whole kind of like, no, you told me to F off, so I'm going to take away my satellites. Like, it was just so weird and childish and kind of, it reminded me of a Twilight Zone with a kid who has too much power and then he kills everybody. Anyways, what a fun surprise stream. I forgot he was going to do this live. See, this is why I've got to tweet these things. I'm going to create a post right now. I'm going to post it to everybody, and the video is going to be, what's it going to be? It's going to be a picture of this. I'm going to say, hey, I'm live now. Hey, rodents. Uh, live now. Live now. If you want to join us, join me. Then I put in my little address here, which I put a little. I did this great feature on the iPhone that I love is you can give it a few little letters and it'll automatically autofill it out to whole words. And then I do that with like links, so I get the links right because otherwise I get the links wrong. Hey, rodents, live now. If you want to join me, what should we say? To gnaw on Guillermo. Non Guillermo. There you go. Wow. I should have thought. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Non Guillermo del Toro's graveyard. Oops. How do I say this? Graveyard rats. Graveyard rats. I should do the little tag on that, shouldn't I? That's what I'm going to do. This is going to be great. Once I get it all set up, you wait. It's going to be the best stream ever. No rodents were injured in the making of this stream. 100%. What I don't even know what the hype train does, but apparently it makes, I think, Twitch a lot of money. So well done on giving Twitch some more money. Bezos needs some more money, so let's get him in there. Cal, thank you very, 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 very much for being here and helping me out on this because I have a feeling I'm going to need it. Graveyards Rats episode with director Vincenzo Natali. Now, I'm guessing I'm going to get some kind of a warning when he comes in, but I say that I should check because it's possible it won't do that because I've got so many things going on here. Anyways, one day it'll all make sense. So there you go. There's me. I've got no video there, but I've got this. Okay. It's not for wimps. I can say that much. In 10 minutes into episode 2. Oh, really? What counts as episode 2? We're here. Don't get ahead, Cal. You're cheating. You can't. What are you doing? You're supposed to watch it with us, and we get the wonderful visceral joy of listening to people. Well, you can't because I guess you can scream on chat. You know. He's a rodent of Ronan proportions. There you go. Crap, we're talking horror, aren't we? We're talking horror, but I mean, how horrible can that be? It can be, All right, so Vincenzo is going to join us on the Zoom, I believe. I'm just going to check on that, make sure that is in fact the case, that I've got this right, that I haven't screwed it up. There we go. And I don't know, I haven't heard from him yet, but it sounds like we've got that. I'm just so excited about this because I had so much freaking fun doing this and then complaining about it for months and months and months and months and months afterwards about, oh, my shoulders hurt and my back hurts and this is murder, it's hell. But just such a joyful hell, a truly enjoyable hell. This beard, by the way, is for my latest endeavor, a far cry from the rats of Graveyard Rats. I'm doing a little Hallmark movie, and I'm playing the obstacle. I'm playing one of the obstacles to true love, as always. I get to be old, white, inappropriate, and slightly Texan. It was very dodgy on where exactly I was from, but Yeah, I've had some horrible demises in the last little while, haven't I? I mean, C unto itself was a horror. I mean, a pleasure to watch again, but it was quite a miserable miserable end. My mother called and said, "Oh, darling, do you always have to die so horribly?" Sebastian, how are you? And hello, Germany. Germany, wonderful place, Germany. Gotta say, gotta get back to Germany again soon. Let's see how we're doing on our little Zoom chat. I'm going to just check my texts, make sure that everyone is cool and groovy on this as well. Let's see. All right. Got to do a big shout out to Bryn, my co-star Bryn, who has got stuck in a van driving back and forth to North Bay with me for the last couple of weeks. We've had sort of a day here and a day there, and every time the poor woman got stuck in the car with me, and was forced to talk to this babbling nerd for 4 hours at a go. It's literally like a 4-hour drive. So, yes, Bryn got, is it Gottnick? I'm not sure if I got that right, but fabulous, fabulous new actress. Keep an eye out for her. She's going to be a freaking star. And her dad likes Stargate. So, you can't, how could you go wrong? So that's it. Yes, keep an eye out for her. Well, and all of them for that matter. As a whole, I mean, this cast is absolutely lovely. And they're all young and they're nice. They do things like invite old guys like me out for dinner with them. And then I don't go because I missed the fact that they texted me on Instagram. I don't know how to do that. So, love and hugs from Liverpool, England. Save those hugs. I'm going to need them later when the rats get me. I will need them. All right. And I've named myself in the chat. I've just so that, I've named myself Mason Rat Master. There you go. Just, Gimpy G, how are you, sir? I'm sorry I can't drag you into this, Gimpy G. We're doing Zoom, right? So I can't bring in multiple people and do the audio here. And also, I just don't trust you at all is the other part of it, too. Loved Cabinet of Curiosities. I heard a lot of Rodney McKay's fear come out of the character. Yeah, it's called Hewlett fear. Well done. Strangely, I watched right after listening to Stargate AI, which was certainly great in a different way. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? It's not rats, it's AI. I'm in trouble either way. I've paused the chat, damn it. Well, gosh, that is so nice. Captain Catherine, are you being nice to Gimpy G? I've been listening to some of yours and David's old Magic streams while working out, and it's bringing me such joy. Oh, good. If you could get fit, that'd be fantastic, because I'm not doing anything in that regard. We got to get back to some Magic stuff. Here's my problem with Magic right now is I feel like this could be sacrilege to say this, but I'm just worried that it's getting a little brandy. It's getting a little. There's all these different we've got Transformer cards and not Overwatch cards. What was the other one they were doing? They were doing some other. It was just a bunch of Doctor Who cards, and I was like, I should be excited, but there's a part of me going like, it's just turning into. I liked it when it was sort of a little edgy in its own little thing, and now it's bringing in. It's gone all Mattel on me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Trendy's the word. Is right. It feels a bit trendy, doesn't it? Same thing happened to Warhammer. Yeah, they did it to work, Cal. That's what I'm saying. Magic the Gathering now has Warhammer cards. I was like, what's going on? We're going to start making our own cards. Baz and I had an idea for a Magic the Gathering kind of card game called Aliens and Astronauts. And you would play either aliens or astronauts. And your job would be, it could be astronauts from like all different types of planets and systems, all kind of stuff. The idea was to have like different groups of people and they would be fighting. And I think other people have come up with these things before, but it was me and the kid were having a lot of fun with that. We had like tree people and all sorts of stuff. So it's Warhammer. I'm pretty sure Warhammer. Do you think it is, Gippy G? Has it got 2 commercials? Is there something else we could play instead? Are there other like collectible things we could play? Or I know. Why don't we play League of Legends? That's still around. That's still cool, isn't it? What we could do, we'd suck at it. I'd suck at it. Is that, I guess, the advantage of the thing I liked about Magic the Gathering was, first off, I love Magic the Gathering. I love all the cards. I love even the digital version. I like how the tactile feel of it. Let me see if I've got Vinny in here. I want to make sure I'm not keeping him waiting. All right. We said 7 o'clock, right? Is that what we said? I'm pretty sure we said 7 o'clock. I am the world's worst scheduler. I don't know if you know this or not. I'm in there now. I've got audio. I truly am the world's worst scheduler. The world is a vampire. Oh my God! I went and saw the Smashing Pumpkins, and it was awesome. It was awesome because it was date night with my wife, which was just lovely, and it was just I don't know what it was. It's just like such a blast from the past. It was the Smashing Pumpkins, and it all seemed so cool. And I was like, I want to wear black dresses and eye makeup and sing about vampires and stuff. And Our Lady Peace opened up, and I was like, I can't remember what Our Lady Peace sings. And then I was like, every song, I was like, oh my God, I love this song. So it was great. They were in Montreal recently. Did you see them? They're great. I loved them. I just thought they were amazing. Good evening, James R. Dr. Professor Gurney. How are you, sir? You prepared to watch some rats with us? Yeah, Cal is up late. We got to thank Cal for that, for being up so late. Much appreciated, Cal. Hey, Cal, is there an easy way to drag the chat into its
unknown caller?
What? Not for me. It's not. Unless you don't think that's Vinny trying to call on the other line, is it? No, it's not, because it's like a hacker line. It's a phishing one. Totally knew he was streaming. Totally stayed up for this. Cal, you are the best. Is there a way to drag the chat that I have on the right here into my thing? I know there was a way of doing it before. I loved the concert, Alyssa. I absolutely loved it. Potter Hobbit, how are you? First time chat from a Strether who says, give Rishi 2 weeks at least. Ha. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks at least. Country 3D, how are you, buddy? It's my 3D buddy. Boston Asian Gamer, sup to you. Yeah, caught up in another binged shows. What, have you caught up on what? On C? On what? I vote for the rats. Oh, the rats are coming. Did you ever doubt that the rats? I mean, did you ever doubt that the rat? Who's? Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying anything. I mean, I'm sure I'll ruin it all anyways. But what do we got? Let's see what's happening here. I don't see any chats from my little friend yet, but let's see what he is up to. Oh, have I gone to sleep? My headphones are gone to sleep. I put my headphones to sleep. That's always a good sign, isn't it, Cal? Does anyone have a suggestion on how to do that? On how to get the chat in here? Because I'd love people to be able to see what the chat is doing. There's something about, like, you save it as a David Reed 2021 Rodney. That's Meredith to you. Bite Me, I'm Cling on his back. Fantastic with a million different emoticons. Tweety Rose here. Mediavore, Captain Catherine, Spider Oz. Oh, thank you all. Yes, it is OBS. It's OBS, but yes, it's OBS. It looks like it's got stream elements running, but yeah, OBS. Yeah. Is it just a simple way? Like, it doesn't have to be pretty, because God knows I'm not. It'd be just kind of fun to be able to see the chat as it flies by. So people don't know that I'm just not talking to myself, which I could be. Actually, maybe we shouldn't see the chat. Capture the chat in OBS. Yes, that's what I want to do. How do I do that? Oh, capture the chat, like, from the actual chat? Oh, like wait a second. Would that work? If I do this, if I do like a pop out, switch to non-mods, and then I pop it out, pop out the chat, pop it out. If I take this, copy this, and I paste that into a browser window, would that work? By George, it's possible that we've just fixed it. Is that it? Did that work? Oh, did it not? It did. Okay, I've got chat. What? It's not. Oh, but you know what though? That it doesn't update very well. Because, like, right now, it's not showing it at all. Yeah. It should do that. Could pop out the chat in Twitch, but then it's not. Does it have to be a window capture? Would a window capture work better? What if I do a window capture? Would that work? Zoom, Friends, Discord? No, not that. Chat, Twitch? Is that better? That's a little better, isn't it? All right, let's get rid of that one then. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Let's get this in here, make it a little bigger, and boom, a boom, a boom. Everybody in the room. Okay, here you go. So you can sort of see a chat now. That's not bad. There you go. I'm sort of wedged in between the rat and the hard place. Okay, here we go. So there's me there. We could move our little rat over a little bit, maybe. No, that's the wrong one. Where's this? Hey, window. Here you go. I don't want to lose too much of the rat in the process here. What's happening, LOL? It's me causing chaos as always, because that's what I do. Okay, 702. What do we think? I wonder if he started tweeting. He might have started tweeting, you know. He's very good at his tweets. Okay, I'm gonna do Graveyard Rats right now. Let's do a test now. If anyone's on Twitter, go on Graveyard Rat. Go and do a hashtag Graveyard Rats, and let's see what comes up. Right now, the last one I've got is Mike Hill, who did some amazing freaking genius, super amazing work on, like, everything Guillermo does, including this Rats movie, and did just a beautiful job of that. You'll see what happens very soon. I'm gonna get IMDb up too, so I can hopefully help a little bit with, like, knowing what I'm supposed to, the names of people that I should remember that I don't. Curiosities. Curiosity Kills, Cabinet of Curiosities. Oh, there was an old Cabinet of Curiosities. There's a Cabinet of Curiosities before then? Yeah. way down the list. Way down the list. All right. Let's see what's happening. Okay. So, there's a top cast section. I'm not in it, just so you know. I'm near the bottom there. We've got Liz Johnson, Kevin Kepi. The corpse, the man. We're talking about the corpse. Kevin played the corpse and did a brilliant freaking job of it, I should say. And gets to be at the top of the list because I think he played a couple. He did like 2 episodes. He's one of the few people who did 2 episodes. Let me see if we've got little Vincenzo around at all. He may just do his tweets. Maybe he'll tweet. I wasn't particularly clear. Here we go. Nothing more terrifying and disturbing than watching me do a Guillermo del Toro impression. Oh, no. He's trying to do that Mexican accent is really hard without it sounding really offensive. But he's just got this wonderful way of talking that again, is not that. All right. I'm looking up graveyard rats. So the idea, I think, was if people have questions, maybe it's just easier for me to do that from here. Is the Discord link working? The Discord link is not working. What do you mean working? We're not actually doing a Discord chat today. I'm actually doing a Zoom chat today with, hopefully with Vincenzo. If not, I'm just talking to you while he tweets, and I will retweet his stuff as it goes. He was saying he wanted to do like a Twitter watch party. And I was like, well, you could do a Twitter watch party, or I could go live and talk to my folks, because I like that. We're brightening up Captain Catherine's day. How good is that? That's not a bad thing. Let me see what's going on here. So it's 7 o'clock, right? Are we at 7 o'clock now, if I got that right? I'm so turned around. I will ask what I ask you, all of my users. Did you test this beforehand? Have you not watched Stargate? Test things beforehand. Come on. Who do you think I am? Some kind of rank amateur? That's exactly what I am. All right. All male. It's no fun if you test it. If you test it, it never works. EST. David never gets things. Never tests things. No. Why would I? It's just gone midnight for Inthractus. Oh boy. We die like men. Exactly. All right. So I've sent Vincenzo a link to the Zoom. I've got my Twitter up. What do you want to know? Like, what sort of stuff? Like, I'm curious to know what are the kind of questions you want to ask? What are the kind of things you want to know about making something like this? Other than about how I achieved such a fabulous facial hair. Other than those kind of questions. The chat is not refreshing, is it not? Yeah, I wondered about that. It's always a bit funky that way. I just wanted to rejoin. I haven't been there for a while. The chat is not refreshing. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry, it does that. I mean, it's kind of fabulous. Sad to admit it. It's true, isn't it? See, even Cal can't resist the facial hair of Masson, grave robber. This chat sucks. I don't know how. Is there a way to like refresh it, or get it to refresh on a regular basis? That'd be great. I remember this happening last time, and it just sucked. This is why, guys. This is why I'm going back. I'm going back to freaking. Stream Elements. I don't think has a link for this stuff, but this is why I'm going back to that other one that everyone hates. Not Stream Elements. Stream something or another. You can add it as a doc in OBS, but probably shouldn't fiddle on stream. I don't know what you're talking about, Cal. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? I'm curious to know how Vincenzo deals with my completely random streaming. The thing is that everyone else in this business is a professional. David Reed says, loved Stargate Atlantis being my favorite. Great job on the series, which they should come out with another series. And of course, we need some appearances from Rodney. Yes, I agree entirely. Posted cast list off Netflix to Twitter. Nice. Okay, great. The Psychonaut. Hello to you, Psychonaut, and welcome. First time chatting, Psychonaut. All right, what do we got here? Let me see if my little zoomy zooms are working. We got Vincenzo's tweet. Is Vincenzo tweeting away now? He said, there you go, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's now. He's probably got very important things to do, I'm sure. All right, here we go. Put your web page chat on the foreground and the others in the background. I did. That's what I got. In the very foreground, I wonder if I could do that. It is in the very foreground. Yeah, it is in the very foreground, I'm afraid. If I do that now, will it update? Good evening? No. Is that right? Oh, that's a little bit better. It's still behind. It's still not. It's weird. It just doesn't want to. It doesn't want to update. David, how much do you actually like watching horror stuff in real life? All the freaking time, Nixie. I went through this weird phase where I didn't watch any horror. I think partially because of having the kid. We had Baz, and for some reason, I just found like every death and murder and possible concept of losing, the kid, more just out of fear of responsibility than anything else. I think I didn't even like him to start because he's just like a weird thing that doesn't actually say anything, right? Those babies are weird, but they're weird, like alien, like naked rat looking things. So I felt this responsibility somehow, and then as the kid gets older, you get even more worked up about, oh my god, I hope I don't screw up, and Sorry, I was on another call. Vincenzo Natali. Vincenzo Natali, you are live on the interwebs, sir. Live on the interwebs, you are. Hello?
Where's the E?
Vincenzo. I'm going to mute him for 1 second. Vincenzo, are you there, sir? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Woohoo! Sweet! You are live, sir, just so you know.
How fantastic.
I'm a nerd, and I'm here to prove it. Oh my god. You should have seen me trying to figure this out. I was like, wait a second. But if it takes my microphone, how will I... It's all wrong. It was like, it was like a Stargate episode up to itself. How are you, sir? We've lost him again. Just so you know, Vincenzo and I are really good at having Zoom chats. We do this every week. We still haven't figured it out. Oh, you're breaking up big time.
Hey.
Sort of got you?
You got me.
Oh, you got me. Oh, great. Very good. Very good. Yes. So what I've done is I've started streaming on Twitch, and just to get a sense of questions and stuff. But yeah, how do you want to do this? Do you want to would you start watching the show, or how do you want to run it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm going to watch it on my iPad in my ear so no one else can hear it, and we don't get fired from Netflix before we even work for them. But I'm going to go for... Are you going to...
Sounds like a plan.
All right. I'm going to press play, and we're going in. Here we go. All right. We're starting Guillermo del Toro's Curiosities, Episode 2, Graveyard Rats, a Netflix series. I got to say, I love that he's doing the opening. Ancient Burials. Do you want to try doing your impersonation again, Vincenzo?
My impersonation of Guillermo? What is this impersonation?
It also sounds like Mario has a party. It sounds like a number of people we worked with. Vincenzo and I are both absolutely terrible at doing impersonations of Guillermo del Toro, by the way. But I love that he does this, and I want to keep everything that he has on his table. Now, you were saying you have that, right?
I have it buried in a drawer, yes.
That little ivory-looking carving, and he did a unique one for each. Was it for each director?
He did, yes. Mine looks like Dr. Oz.
You have a puckish
much
look.
to my chagrin.
You have a puckish look to you. A somewhat Shakespearean, devilish look. Do you know who did the titles?
Actually, I don't.
No, I don't, because they're gorgeous.
I'm very talented.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. And there's something about, I don't know, it just, I love that Alfred Hitchcock vibe, which I've always got from him anyways.
Oh, yes, it's so fabulous. But the wonderful thing about what he's done is he's highlighted the directors, which is something Alfred Hitchcock would have never done.
Ha!
It's a tremendously generous thing. and he's like that. That's kind of his nature. I always think of him as the great impresario of the fantastic arts.
Ha! I call him the Gandalf of Hollywood.
He's a magical character.
He really is.
Like, you know, there really isn't anyone else like him, and what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
He's exactly what you would think he is. He never disappoints.
No, it's amazing. And I never know how to explain it. I'm terrified not of him, but of somehow not living up to what he needs from me. If that makes sense. Like, I'm actually most nervous on his sets and your sets, weirdly enough.
Why are you nervous on my sets?
Well, because again, I don't want to screw up. I want it to be right. I want it to work out. I want everything to work perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, it's because I don't know if people don't know this or not, but we've sort of been doing this since we were sort of a little younger.
Starting at the age of 15, when I asked David, would he like to be in a movie?
Yeah.
He gave me a sideways glance and said, "What kind of movie?"
I was jaded even then. I don't know,
But
nerd.
Little did you know.
Oh my God.
Little did we know we'd still be doing this. I don't even want to say how many years later.
But that's the dream. Like, if I could wish anything for my son or anybody else on this planet, it is to find something you love doing with people you love doing it with. I mean, it's not work. It is work. It's horrible, hard work, and it was brutal and wonderful, but it just, it's such a joy. Like, we kept I felt like we kept like pinching each other and going like, is this real? I can't believe they said yes to this.
It's, I mean, the funny thing is, for anyone out there who tries to do this kind of thing, whether it's professionally or on their own, it's never really different than when you're a kid doing it on Super 8 or with your iPhone, depending on what generation you belong to. The principles remain the same. And it's just as difficult when you've got a crew of 50 as it is when you have a crew of 5.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Some things feel, I guess, well, I was going to say, it doesn't really money doesn't take the pressure off. Having more money just means you've even got more pressure in a way, don't you? Because it's like, there's more to lose. But he was fabulous about supporting the filmmakers, though. I mean, he seemed to really just let them do their, my favorite co-star right here. There you go. My little guy.
Are you speaking of the rat?
Yeah. I've just had my hand bitten by.
You're gonna have to narrate for me, David, where we are in this thing.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right.
It.
I see.
So no. That's
let me paint you a picture, Vincenzo. This fabulously talented actor has just put his hand into a grave and had it bitten by a rather fabulous rat, which is looking a little scarred. We're now about to meet Hans Overfished. Or Overfish, as I called him, because it was the fish department. This is
good. This is what I need, because I'm trying to time these tweets with various bits of artwork.
Good. Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh, my God. Dude, that peripheral stuff you sent out today,
holy
crap. Like that. But it's just
you're very generous.
No, but it's like, it just shows, first off, the work ethic. And this is something else people should know here. Every single day, you walk onto a Vincenzo Natali set, and there is a giant Bristol board of all of the shots drawn out as what he's going to do. And that's the day. And they get circled, they get shot, they get X'd out. So everyone, from the freaking craft service to the loser actors like me, can walk up and know exactly what's happening all the time. And that almost never happens on a show. Yeah. So
I'm surprised by that, actually. I can't walk on the set without storyboards. It's like my security blanket.
I think you've always had that kind of analytical brain, though. So this was a scene that I was sure was going to get cut, because there's so much talking. I was like, no one wants to hear me talking with those eyebrows that long.
Well, yes, let's back up a second. So when I wrote this script, I secretly wrote it for David Hewlett to have the lead role in. with the hope that maybe Guillermo and his producer Miles would say okay, because they had the good fortune to work with David in the past. But I wrote it praying it would be David, because there's no other actor alive who can speak dialogue as fast as he can, and therefore get through this insanely long expositional speech and do it with so much flair and energy.
It was a long one. It
is a long one.
We dodged a bullet on this because the first scene that you saw with the initial grave robbing was shot in Hamilton, and it was like -40. It was so cold that my eyes froze while I was trying to hold them open during the scene. It was just brutally, brutally cold, and we thought, oh my God, we've got this whole scene outside with Hewlett babbling, and what are we gonna do? And it turned out to be it was a gorgeous night, actually, wasn't it? It was really nice.
This night was good, yeah. We were God smiled on us.
Well, and it was cold enough that you still get the breath, which I love, because you can't fake that. No matter how much CG you do, the breath always looks digital unless you do it, you know.
So true.
This is
so
like
true. Yeah, I don't know why they can't do CG breath. It's amazing.
I think it's because we're so familiar with it that it's that uncanny valley thing. It's something we're so used to seeing that if it acts unnaturally, it's not. You know what I mean? It's the simplest things that are the hardest things to do because they're the things we're most used to seeing without seeing them. This is still to this day is still my favorite monologue. Yeah. It's like he almost gets wrapped up in his own, like he almost starts enjoying his own, you know, rantings.
Well, I think, the other quality you have, and I'm going to embarrass you for a moment, David.
Oh, please do.
that makes it such a joy to watch you is that no matter how disgusting and hateful your character is, we always like you. You have a vulnerability, and as pathetic as Masson is, as a kind of
I don't like the way this compliment's going.
Grave robber, you can't help but love the guy and enjoy watching him suffer. I think that's the other tremendous talent you have.
It's odd, isn't it? But you've always written characters like this. Like I've always played characters like this for you. I mean, like even the beginning of the very, very beginning, the first film we did was a film called Exam, and it was about this guy who's going to do badly on a math exam, so he kills his teacher. I mean, it was, and then I ran into traffic, didn't I, or something horrible? We would have gone to jail had we made that film now.
Yeah, we actually brought a real gun in the school.
Did we really?
If you can believe it.
No, seriously? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was real. I mean, it wasn't loaded.
Obviously not, because we still have our English teacher who played the math teacher.
That's right.
Oh, here we are, Julian Richlings.
Oh, the lovely Julian.
Julian, you will probably recognize from, first off, everything, and secondly, from being cubed in Cube, has like literally, you could say the titular role of the titular. I can't say that titular role of. It sounds naughty.
You said that beautifully.
It sounds very naughty. In Cube, he's cubed at the beginning of Cube, so, and he's just got this extraordinary face.
And he's a great actor.
Yeah. Yes.
And, he has.
And like
a lovely,
sweetest
lovely human being.
Yeah.
One
Absolutely sweetest man. And we did a play together, even before Cube. We did a play called Spring Awakening, back before it was a musical, if you can imagine. We did a play together at Center Stage here in Toronto when I was a kid, and he was again one of the good ones. There was a lot of very odd theater types there, and he was not one of them. He was just wonderful.
And I love seeing you guys in this scene.
Yeah.
It's so delicious.
It's there's some beautiful stuff in here. I mean, but again, when I read this, I think I said to you, like, this is like one of the favorite things I've ever read of your writing. You know what I mean? Like, it just had all these, well, it's like this. This thing's over before you know it. It's extraordinary. Okay, so we're now going into the morgue. Are there naked storyboards you want to show or anything? Is there? Because this is an amazing scene.
I'll have a design I'll drop on you in just a second.
Oh, there's the headless. And here's something else I didn't notice.
Your reactions are so lovely.
Well, it's not hard, really. Look at them. Look at those things. Died in a bath. Oh, God.
And that was a fabulous build, actually. I mean, that.
Oh,
for anyone
good Lord.
Doesn't catch it. It is absolutely a silicone body.
Yeah.
There's not a human being
but I think I wiped my hands because it felt slimy, even though it was not, you know. But there's just some. I gotta say, you'd originally planned on shooting this in black and white, right? You basically shot this in black and white.
Yes, we were 100% shooting this in black and white. I never saw a color monitor.
Yeah.
And then late in the game, when we were in post, I was informed that, well, actually, we want it in color. So I was like, wow, I really don't know what I shot. And thankfully, when we looked at it, it was just fine. Because when you shoot in black and white, certain colors read differently than they do to the naked eye. So you might want to use, we could have very well made Massen's suit red.
Yeah.
Bright red.
I think we looked at some ones with red thread in it.
Right. But as it turned out, we ended up actually shooting with a very desaturated kind of palette anyway.
Right.
And so to be honest, I am happy with the color grade. Although I do prefer the black and white version. And I'm hoping.
Oh, they might do one?
That, well, last I heard is, and don't quote me on this because I don't truly know if it's going to happen or not, but I heard they were going to release the black and white version down the road.
Well, they did that with Nightmare Alley, didn't they?
Yes. Except, yes, exactly that.
Sorry, it's just that there were two of us cowering behind the bottles of body parts.
Oh, I love you guys so much in this.
There's a classic Vincenzo or Bride of Frankenstein. No, what was it? Was it Bride of Frankenstein? No, what was the Mel Brooks one? Was it Bride of Frankenstein? No.
Oh, Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. That's the one. Jesus, I've been up since 5 a.m. Okay, as I'm sure you have, but I'm not used to it. This one right here, the shot of the eye coming through the glass is so.
Oh yeah.
It's both high art and high fromage at the same time. It's just wonderful.
There's a healthy dose of fromage.
Yeah. And that last shot, I swear to God, I could get a job as a Who from Whoville in the next Grinch movie. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so before we shot this, it sort of said that I was singing, right? Or you said you thought I should sing, and I suddenly panicked and went, "What can we sing that isn't going to have copyright issues?" So I got on the internet, and my poor wife had to listen to me singing sea shanties all night, trying to get this in my head so that I could sing sea shanties as I go up.
That is, to me, that is the magic of movies, because I am very prep oriented, but often the stuff that really sticks, that's most memorable, is just comes in at the last second. And that's true. We didn't have that song until the day of.
It was the day. It wasn't it? It was like, because the night before I was actually trying to remember it. So luckily I'm not supposed to be a good singer. But the happy accidents. I think there's it's that thing of being incredibly prepared so that you can then open yourself up to little weird things that show up when they do. This, and also the other thing is the design on this stuff. Look at the walls, look at the wardrobe. It's just so, it's I think it was our friend James Crow Scratch was saying it's like a Bernie Wrightson graphic novel.
Oh, you see, he knows just what to say.
He does, doesn't he?
Because Bernie Wrightson is one of my favorite artists and was, prime inspiration for this piece.
I have the Frankenstein book, which is just, I imagine you've got that too.
Oh,
it's absolutely gorgeous. Actually, I could show
David, did you see Guillermo's exhibition?
Yes.
That came to the AGO?
Yes. I did. Hang on.
And there was some original Wrightson art from the Frankenstein book.
Oh, was there? Oh God, I don't remember that.
Yeah, beautiful. So beautiful.
I'm gonna just show this to people online, but that's the cover. But this is the kind of stuff that he does. This incredibly complex, almost psychotic attention to detail. And so Vincenzo thought he'd do that too. But it's just
a lesser variation thereof.
It's the sort of thing. It also inspired things like the 300 and all of Frank Miller's Dark Knight stuff. I mean, he's like a classic, right? All right, we're now looking at the body about to go to the funeral. We're checking out the various items of value. Evil, gleeful grins on my face, and we meet the fabulous bride. Not bride. What do I mean? Widow. That's the word.
What is a widow but a former bride?
The bride of death. There is just some beautiful turns of phrase in this. Like there's just like, did you research this the dialect, like the way they talked or anything? I mean, was there like?
No, that's just me.
Really?
Pretentious. No, but it's easy. You know, I think it's easy to be florid, actually, when you're writing, and I'm sure it's, you know, anyone who's properly schooled in these things would just be horrified by some of the writing, but
really,
but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's fun. That's the other thing, is it's actually got, you know, this you know, it has a wonderful sense of fun to it. This was freaking cold too. Oh, one of my favorite shots coming up right now, oh, look at that. So that's the studio.
Yes. So whenever you're inside a grave, that's studio.
Yeah.
And anything outside, of course, is location. And I must say, the whole process of figuring out how to create the rat maze was a very lengthy and complex one, because it wasn't just a matter of figuring out, you know, how do you fit an actor in a hole and move them around. It was about how do you fit an actor in a hole, light them, and move a camera in a little hole. And we were very fortunate to have Tamara Devrel, who's our production designer, and Colin Holt, who's a cinematographer.
Geniuses.
And we actually talked about, I think my first conversations with them about this were easily a year and a half before we started shooting. Like it was a long time. And, you know, gradually we came around to what became known as the Rat Maze, which is, and I'll see if I can get a photo of it to post, but an elevated platform.
It was extraordinary.
It really was something.
It was like an elevated intestinal tract.
It was an elevated, colon tract.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that David squeezed himself into and squeezed himself out of. And the camera was mounted on a rail system above the set. And so if you can imagine, there was this sort of, we also called it the rat coaster, because there was this tube and then a rail and then a camera hanging from that rail that was inside the tube. And there was a slice through the top of the tube through which the camera head could.
The camera just sort of hung down and could zip through. Inside.
Yeah. And so, and then David lit himself
beautifully
with his own lamp.
Beautifully.
And I must say, yes, quite beautifully.
Funny, I don't remember seeing a credit for that, but yes.
You know, funny how that is.
Yeah, weird.
Or an extra salary.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
extra paycheck.
That's it.
But you did it. You lit yourself while acting, while crawling at high speed through this not particularly comfortable space.
Yeah, although, to be fair, I mean, there was they were actually I was amazed at how conscientious they were about that, because I know, you know, Vincenzo normally just goes, just go in the tunnel. It'll collapse and we'll dig you out. But they used like a rubber dust. So there was, to keep the actual dust down to a minimum. And it was actually, I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, like it was exhausting, but it was, I had a nightmare. I told you about this, right? I had a total nightmare the first night. Before we started filming, I had a nightmare the night before we started filming that I had claustrophobia.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Like one of those, like wake up going, oh God, like I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What if I'm completely claustrophobic? But it was never as bad as my nightmare. So it was just, you know, it was great.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that speaks volumes for us then,
doesn't it? Yeah. You've
done I must say the producers, not me, of course, but the producers were incredibly concerned about you.
Yeah, Vincenzo and I weren't that worried. We've been here before. It's like,
I've abused David's for well over 30 years now, so it's nothing new. But
I expected.
But the producers were much more conscientious. And then, you know, the other aspect to this, which actually was an advantage, was that we were shooting this at the height of I think Omnicron, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
And I
right. We
think
were in
I
full.
can't remember. I'm not even sure which variant it was. I think that was the one.
Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot.
But the good news was you were isolated in a tube
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
large portion of the shoot. So we shot all the location stuff first, partly because we just wanted to get David into that tube and into a safe space where he was less likely to get sick.
Safe being a kind of a relative word, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Into a
I
nice,
mean,
comfortable
there was
space.
a certain amount of bodily harm involved in this, but we weren't terribly concerned about that.
I remember that we were freaked out that one of us was going to get it and we are going to have to shut down. I mean, there was one night we had a scare one night. Was it? We had a scare one night where I think Jane or Baz, someone they thought had tested positive and they weren't sure. No, someone had tested positive, but they weren't sure. So I stayed at a hotel that night and they tested them the next morning and they were fine. So, but that was I think that was the closest we got on that. Oh,
It was, we kind of lived in terror because, when you make these things, and especially on a TV schedule, even if you lose an hour of shooting, it has a material impact on the end product, let alone a day.
Yeah.
And we were at the tail end of this whole thing. So Cabinet had been shooting for I don't know how many months, and we were the last episode to shoot. So even though we showed up at the beginning of the series as it was released on Netflix, we were actually the last thing to shoot. And so we were really at the butt, if you will pardon the expression, the butt end of this process, and there wasn't any wiggle room because people were moving on to other jobs and stuff. So we had to finish on time.
I'm in the background shooting my own foot off, by the way.
Are you? Oh God, I better catch up here.
I just shot my toe off. I was going to say the CG rats are freaking great, by the way.
Yes, so that's the work of Dennis Berardi and Hearn Hill, who are brilliant. The thing is, even though it was a TV schedule, it was a comparatively generous one, and there was money for this thing. Like I was amazed.
I just shot the rat.
Oh, okay. I got some stories.
This was like the end of the day. I seem to remember this like being at the end of the day, and you're like, just laugh maniacally, and it was not a problem.
Oh God, that was so fun. It is such a pleasure watching great actors work. That's one of the things that maybe you don't always hear from directors because they're always whining about how hard it is to do things. But in fact, when you have a magnificent actor like David, there is tremendous pleasure in just being an audience. Like I really feel like, in fact, I almost feel like that's part of my job is to be a good audience. And when you have someone like David, that's very easy because he's so entertaining to watch perform on and off the camera, I should say.
God, this giant rat's good. Damn, never share the screen with children, animals, or giant rats. No one's looking at me at all. Another little piece about the tunnels. There was actually a fitting for the tunnels. At one point during wardrobe, they said, how would you crawl? And then they measured me and they said, okay, don't eat too much turkey. Because that's the size of that's going to be the size of your tunnel. Oh, you were quite worried about the giant rat, right? I still remember you being like, I hope this is all going to work. Because it's like, there's so many moving pieces in that thing.
Indeed, yes. So this is something I probably shouldn't even say, but it's rare that I get a puppet that works. They're just hard to do, and they take a lot of time.
Except Hewlett.
To work with. Well, you don't always work.
That's true. That's true. I break sometimes. It's true.
You do break, but you're I would say quite reliable. But puppets are tricky, and this thing worked beautifully. It was a company called Spectral Motion that built it, and and I thought the head would probably work quite well, but I wasn't sure about the rest of it, and it literally
Sean's
rolled
little
onto
arms?
that like a wheelbarrow. What's that?
The Sean's little arms. We had Sean's arms sticking through for the claws.
It was we were tearing a page from Rick Baker and his American Werewolf, American Werewolf in London Wolf, I should say. which was effectively a person on a wheelbarrow.
Right.
So, you couldn't really look at the hindquarters of this thing, but everything sort of from the waist up, could articulate, it could actually walk. And it worked. It was great. And it was, it was kind of like having another actor on set. Like I could really in real time give it direction and it would respond. And
it was extraordinary because I was like right there. And you're sort of like, yeah, no, that's just a giant rat breathing on me. I mean, it's like it was just beautifully done. And I could make fun of Sean, and he couldn't do anything because he was in a rat suit. Sean was one of the brilliant guys involved in The Shape of Water as well, of course. So, this set,
which you were in, we should.
Yes. Well, I think that probably helped. I imagine.
Actually, I'll post some rat stuff.
So we are now in the Cthulhu's Den or whatever we're calling it. What did they call it? There was a great term for it.
Cthulhu. Oh, it's a black church.
The black church, but
it's never stated, but it is clearly a Lovecraftian inspired deity, the kind of Cthulhu.
Someone had a great name for it though, that related to female genitalia of some sort. It was a.
I don't. Oh, should we be saying? Yes, they sure did.
It's just it's that Lovecraftian kind of strangely almost Geiger-like, not sexy, but unsexy reproductive look to it, if that makes sense. Oh, here we are. We got Kevin. Is it Kevin? Was it right? Kevin Kepi? We've got the corpse now. We've got the corpse priest.
Oh, he was wonderful.
This was kind of spectacular too, because when you read this, you're like, what? How the hell are you going to do that, Natali? And I think
that was fun.
What's also great about this is you know what's going to happen, and it still scares you. You're like, I feel like maybe he shouldn't do that.
Well, I'll tell you a quick little story. Originally, the script did not have the corpse. The short story did, but it never really made sense to me. So I just effectively turned the corpse into a giant rat.
Right.
That's what the script was originally. Then, when everything started happening for real, Guillermo called me and he said, "You remember in the story there was this corpse?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I kind of knew where this was going. He said, "Well, what would you?" He never tells me what to do. He just suggests, "What would you think about putting the corpse in?" And I said, "Well, I took it out because it didn't really make sense." And he said, "That is precisely why it needs to be in the film, because it makes no sense."
Was it the two vectors of horror? Is that what?
Right. Yes. So I think the point being that what frightened Guillermo in that story, and it is, he will tell you, the most frightening story he's ever, or the story that frightened him more than any other, certainly as a child, is the kind of non sequitur of this corpse suddenly coming into existence and becoming animated while this man's trapped underground. But there's no rhyme or reason for it, and it's the very lack of reason, I think, that's so disturbing.
Well, and I think that's true horror too, right? I mean, I feel like we try to explain stuff too much now. Like, it's like, well, the reason it came alive is because of toxic waste in the water. You're like, whatever, who cares? It came alive, you know?
Right, exactly. And it is the fact that something should not be but is. That is what is disturbing. So I wrote it, and then Guillermo said, "Oh yes, I wrote it in," and I said, "Well, then I'll take out the rat, shall I?" And he said, "No. You must have two vectors of horror."
We spent the whole time walking around on set going, two vectors of horror.
I was like, boy, can we afford to do this? But sure enough, we kept the rat and the corpse, and we had our two vectors of horror.
That's the beauty of Vincenzo, but Guillermo is the no one says no to Guillermo. I need a rat and a dead body. Okay, fine. Yep.
It's so true. More is more for GDT.
Yeah. Okay, I'm desperately trying to dig myself out from between a rat queen and
Oh God,
a crawling corpse.
I am so behind you right now. Hold
Uh,
on, I'm
well, that's
catching up.
go from wherever you want. That's fine. We've all like the reality is people can watch from wherever they want. We're not like I'm not screening it on camera anyways. God, magnificent rat queen. She's a pretty girl. Where is she now? Is she back in L.A.?
I imagine she is.
The all is lost moment. I love it when he like for a split second thinks he might be brave. Yeah, there's something kind of sad about it, which I like.
There is. Well, we like Messon.
My father said, Dybok, I think given the nature of the material, I don't think Helen and I will be watching this one. I was like, all right, Dad, don't worry about it. I'm not sure.
That's so funny.
Oh, the way it jumps.
Oh yeah. Well, that's no. Of course, that's Dennis Barty. So when you ever see the rat in any kind of gross motor action,
Mm.
we're looking at the CG rat.
And this whole set was rigged to collapse, basically.
Correct.
And then covered in goo. But we're not done yet, because the corpse is back. I could not get over how quick this was to watch. Like, it's so rare that you see stuff that you're not like, it just felt like you can't get your breath. It's like there's so much stuff going on.
Well, I must say, from the get-go, I wanted it to be short just because I know from my TV experience that the less pages you have to shoot, the more you end up putting on screen.
Ha.
And but foolish me, we weren't actually, I should say, Cabinet wasn't shooting a pattern schedule, so they just reduced my schedule to suit the number of pages I had.
Oh, no. Oh, really?
So other people had like 25 days to shoot theirs. I had 17.
Oh, really?
But still, they were very conscientious and generous, and in fact, it was a great situation. But
well, and you got to spend time on this stuff. I mean, I never felt like we were crazy rushed or anything. I mean, or
no. I think it was a very comfortable schedule, all things considered.
There's a bit of a Robert Shaw thing happening here. There's a bit of a. I think I'm gonna be looking.
Well, that's rather generous of you.
It's just something about the facial hair. It's the facial.
I see it. Yep.
It's fine. I'm only thinking about it because we're going to go see a play.
Little bit of Quint.
A little bit of Quint in there. Yeah. We're going to go see that play called "The Shark Doesn't Work" or whatever it is. The shark's not working, or
there's a. Oh no, I don't know about that.
There's like some play about that they've done about basically those sitting around on set waiting for Spielberg to get the shark to work.
What?
It sounds like it could be fun.
Where is that?
That sounds fantastic. It's at Mervish, I think. This week we're going. Oh, we've gone to darkness after being surrounded by rats. Is anyone trying to watch? The Shark is Broken. That's the one. Thank you, Monkey's Parrot. Is Monkey's Parrot my wife? I think it's possible Jane's on here too. Oh, do you know how hard it is to play dead? Did you have to do any CG on that?
David, I have to extend a compliment because the way you animate your body as if you are filled with rats there's no visual effect that would
is it really? That's how I moved?
There's no visual effect. That's you.
I should have gone into dance, damn it.
You totally are a mime or something.
Oh, the eye. Oh, it's the eye. I had to go back and watch the eye a few times. Oh, well, we've just got through it. We've just got through the entire thing. But are there? Do you want to hit some points? Are there some things? There are specific things you wanna mention? The music's brilliant.
No, well, I must say it went by so fast. I hardly got to post half of what I was going to throw up on the feed. But no, I think it's just listen. I always go back to the importance of working with friends, and for anyone who might be listening that wants to do this for a living, I would say that's just about the most important ingredient is just to work with your friends, and if you can, continue working with them. And it's the great joy of my career is working with you. Like, I really
Yeah,
think
likewise.
to have, to have done it for so long and still be having fun. And I mean, why else really would we be doing it?
It
It's
literally felt
great thing.
like, I mean, other than my back, shoulders, arms, legs, and general health, it felt like I was 15 again. Like, I don't, it has the same joy to it, the same kind of like, you just throw yourself into it, and it's just so much fun to, to be a part of that kind of stuff, you know? Um, Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, like I said, I think the best thing you could wish for someone is that they find something that they like doing this much, and that they get this sort of group. Like, we just have almost just about all of our friends are connected in some way to the stuff that we do, and it makes all the difference. It really does.
I think it does, because it's a very cruel business too,
Mm.
and it sort of
Well, look at me.
when it takes what it wants from you, and then it doesn't leave you with much when it doesn't want anything. So
Mm.
you need that support system, and it's very hard. So it's sort of at the tail end of your career, I imagine it's rather nice. We all be in the old folks' home, giggling together.
Yeah.
But it's and nice at the beginning too, because it takes so much energy to get that kind of escape velocity that you need to get your first movie made. That you can't do it without friends. I don't think you can do it alone.
Mm. No,
It's not
it's weird, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those weird forms of art that you can't just go and do by yourself. I mean, you could do certain aspects of it by yourself, but the reality is that you require this team of people, and any one little problem can spiral into it just not being what you want to make. I mean, it's extraordinary.
It is, yeah.
But
True.
and now, so I mean, are you like, when anyone asks me how to get into acting now, I say, yeah, go on YouTube and make movies with your friends. Go find people who are making movies, because I don't understand why. Like, you've got a movie studio in your pocket. Like, I feel like I feel guilty not making movies all the time, because I feel like we should be running around doing stuff. Like, we got all these tools. Let's I just think there's so many. I can't wait to see what people come up with. I mean, it's we're still 15-year-olds making movies in a way.
I think so. Yeah, I agree. No, it's a hard time for younger filmmakers, because they don't have the distribution system to support them in the way it did when we were younger. I mean, it was always difficult, but now it feels extra difficult to me. On the other hand, anyone can make a film for virtually no money in a way that we never could.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everyone's been gifted with this superpower. So it is wonderful that way. But and so to kind of bring it full circle, this film for us, and correct me if you disagree, David, I'm sure you don't, is kind of like a home movie. Like, it's still,
yeah.
It is not, we have not matured very much since we were 15 or 16 years old. It falls very much into the category of the kind of things we used to do. And the process by which we did it is not all that different.
Well, and we grew up on these films. I mean, these are the things we used to watch. Like, we loved this stuff. We was zombies and giant whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like we would just consume. I mean, I remember, you and Andre would just consume. Got me into movies I'd never heard of. It was just, there was this kind of this desperate need to I want to know everything. I want to see everything. I want to, and then to be able to start actually putting that stuff back out there again, and have kids come up now and go oh, I watched, I was in a car the other day and someone said yeah, my dad used to watch Stargate. I'm like, oh boy, but it's just kind of neat that all you sort of, that you're doing what you love doing, and all you're really doing is just celebrating other stuff you've seen people, you know what I mean? Like, it's you're all standing on the shoulders of other filmmakers and stuff, but it's just, I mean, and Guillermo, again, perfect example. Like someone who so loves filmmaking that he wants to see what other filmmakers will make. I mean, that is a kind of strange. I don't know how you can be that giving, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't know how I don't know how the ego doesn't get in the way of that. I don't know. He got, Netflix said, okay, yeah, sure, you want to do an anthology series? Go ahead. And he went out and picked a bunch of directors that he liked and said, go with it. You know what I mean?
It's such a thing. And and rare that somebody like that has that much power.
Yeah.
Like I think that, you
Yeah.
know, and then we've sort of watched Guillermo's career evolve over the years.
Since
It's
Kronos,
really,
I think you introduced me to Kronos. I think was the first one.
oh, maybe,
Is that
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Was
no, that was his first
the
feature. And
Mechanical
actually, I
Heart?
remember seeing a short film he did, weirdly.
Oh yes.
Were you with me? No, I was in France. It was like my first international film festival. It was a short film festival in Clermont-Ferrand. Oh my God, I believe I remember it. And he had a film called Geometry, I believe.
Oh,
And that was before anybody knew who he was. Anyway, all this is to say, it's really, you know, Guillermo's gift to all of us that he's risen in the ranks to this point where, you know, he's, dare I say, almost an institution, and yet he remains like defiantly in support of horror films and the fantastic arts and all the things that he loved.
Yeah.
And we're never really accepted as serious art. And so it's just, yeah, I think he's, outside of just being, you know, obviously one of the great filmmakers, I think his legacy will be that he's lifted up the genre to, you know, and then also in the process supported so many artists and filmmakers.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's just extraordinary, and he just loves it. He just loves it. You sit around on set just babbling on about, you know, comic books and movies, and like it's just such a pleasure. It's like it's amazing. I mean, I can't wait to see. I'm dying to see his Pinocchio.
Oh God.
Just that whole the stop motion stuff just looks, oh my God. Like has he done stop motion before? Because I'm amazed if he hasn't.
There's a sequence in Hellboy 2 that I feel like it certainly looked like it was stop motion. I'm not sure that it was, but it had if it wasn't, it was intended to look like it was stop motion. But yeah. Oh, and I don't know. Have you ever read the actual book Pinocchio?
No.
It's insane.
Oh, really?
It is a really twisted, dark fairy tale, and I think I have to assume that he will retain a lot of that. So
yeah, I can only imagine. He's not so good. Yeah, the happy endings. He's not. He tends to like he likes the darkness. He embraces the darkness. Wow. Okay. Well. Look, dude. That was. I mean, I'm sort of sad that it's over. I mean, I was sad that it was over before, but now I gotta say, I've been love reading the press and stuff because people just. You definitely know who gets it and who doesn't get it, and it's like it's you know, the fact that people, I love that people can see that yes, there's genre stuff here, but there's comedy stuff here. There's a little social commentary stuff, a little bit of a little bit of fairy tale. I think it's so nice to see people sort of enjoy it the way we did. So
it's tremendously gratifying. And then in this very strange universe we live in, where people can communicate in real time, and it's so wonderful, but I almost find it overwhelming.
Yeah, no, me too. I do at times too.
It's actually hard for me to like walk down the street. I mean, there's high probability I'll just get run over by a car because I'll be so enraptured with someone's tweet.
That's well, as long as it's not mine. It'll
be yours. Yours will be the one that does.
Hewlett. There you go. Or probably James. James is pretty good too. Well, look, thank you very much for letting me drag you into the audio chat as well. I know you just wanted to tweet, but I just it's just really nice because I get to do these. The weird thing about the social media stuff is I find the social media sometimes a bit of a sometimes I feel like, oh God, I better get something out there. I got to keep, come up with some interesting way of saying something stupid. But what's really nice about the live chat stuff is you've got this whole stream chat going on the side, so you can actually hop in and see what people are saying and stuff as well. None of which I've addressed during this chat at all because I've been too busy chatting with you. But
but my question, is there anybody?
Yeah, there are actually. Yeah. There's a few. There's a few people. Actually, I have no way of telling. How do I tell how many people there are? Someone will tell me. Right. Yeah, but are there any just before we go, is there anyone got any questions for Vincenzo before I let him go? 61 of us. There you go. The 61 people chatting with us right now. The chatting was great. Oh, good. Okay, so everyone's fine with the fact that we just chatted the entire time. But wanted to see if there were any questions, maybe that don't relate to Stargate. I can answer those later. I can answer Stargate questions.
I'll answer your Stargate questions.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Do you have, is there anything? I mean, obviously, people should be watching The Peripheral because I freaking love it. That's on. You've got another new episode. Is it tonight or tomorrow that the episode 3 is on?
I think it drops at midnight tonight. But yeah.
And is that an episode? Is that one of your episodes as well, or is it, or you because you traded off? With...
No, it's my better half, Ulrich Riley. So there were two directors on that show, him and myself, and this is his first episode.
Fantastic.
Which he did a brilliant job on.
It's so gorgeous. This is if anyone hasn't watched this, they absolutely should, because it's like if anyone who grew up with the sort of the cyberpunk, the love of that sort of cyberpunk, the Matrix before the Matrix, Akira, all that kind of stuff. This is just it's just like a gift, a lovely gift of crazy futuristic motorcycles and London with air scrubbers, and it's just it's glorious. And we'll probably all end up being proving to be right, but you know. So was there any question? Oh yeah, what inspired you? That's a good question. What inspired you in your career path? What was your inspiration to get into film? Because originally you were going to do graphic novels, right?
Oh well, yes, which is a very highfalutin way of saying comic books. But yes, I wanted to be a comic book artist when I was a kid, and then, I mean, it's really become a cliche now, so it's not a very interesting story. But I saw Star Wars
right
at the age of 8, and that kind of skewed my interest away from comic books and more towards movies. And then I had the very good fortune to meet Andre Bajelic, who's a dear friend of ours, who had a Super 8 camera. And when we were
was it his camera?
Oh yeah, it started with Andre. So we started to make Super 8 movies, and then by the time we sort of
Super 8 for those of you who are too young,
old age of 15, we were like, we really shouldn't be acting in our movies anymore because we're not good. And that's when I approached David, who was effectively the thespian of our school, and the rest is history.
I can only imagine how pretentious I was back then. But I remember thinking like, oh God, I've got to wear a school uniform all summer. Because we went to this all boys school with little ties and jackets and things. So Mr. Cool over here was like, oh God, I've got to wear my school uniform all summer. Instead of having a proper holiday, I'm going to wear. But it was just it just became like every summer we ended up like not always finishing things, but we certainly would film things. That's where I fell in love with the set. That's where I discovered that is the place that I felt the most at home, that I felt like I knew what I was doing, that I felt everything came together when I was on set somehow. And still to this day, it doesn't matter how big or small the set. I feel like, in fact, I would almost say the smaller the set, the better. I love that it has so many. As a nerd, it's the best. As an ADHD nerd, it's the best place in the world because there's so many wonderful technologies and people and stories and distractions and it's just it's such a great place to be.
It is. I mean, it's the Hitchcock thing. It's the world's biggest train set, and I never take it for granted. Like never.
No.
It's because it's really expensive train set. So when you're permitted to play with it, you have to appreciate it. And anyway, on that note,
I'm gonna let you go back to your family, and I've got a dinner date.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have obligations.
That's it. Hey kids, I'm out of here. All right, Andre. Now I'm confused. Now I'm thoroughly confused. I'm all of a sudden I'm 15 years old again. I'm back making movies.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, basically, we're all the same. We all answer the same name at this point. Vincenzo, thank you very, very much for being a part of that. And we'll maybe I'll bug you again about The Peripheral at some point. I'd love to talk to you about that as well, because that's. I mean, I know a bit about it, but it'd be great to. I honestly, those storyboards were just. That was like you want to like a Bible of filmmaking. Just go and look at those Peripheral storyboards. You can see the whole thing coming out of his brain onto the paper, and then you can watch it on Amazon. So go and do that. It's brilliant. All right, get out of here. Love you, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right, David. Take care.
All right. Cheers.
Ciao.
All right. God, I love that guy. We've like literally known each other since we were like 13, 14 years old. And I'm still in awe of that guy's just as his personality, his talent, God, I should hate him because he's good at everything. But, but you can't because he's just an absolutely wonderful person. And he hasn't said this, and I'm going to say it. He has the same kind of sense of giving that Guillermo has as well. I mean, perfect story about Vincenzo. He won money for Cube when it came out at the film festival here in Toronto. He won a little bit of money, and he immediately handed that over to the guy who helped him with second unit on Cube to make his first short film. So, while he is a big fan of Guillermo and what Guillermo's done, I think Vincenzo as well is one of those people who gives back in a way that most people are, wouldn't even think of. Certainly not me, selfish bastard that I am. All right, look, everyone, thank you so much. I'm sorry the chat was such a washout. I couldn't get the thing to update, and I'll look into that so we can sort that out later, because I would like people to be able to see the chat as well, because there's so much going on. Peripherals on your watch list, fantastic. I got to wrap up, otherwise I am going to be in huge trouble, because I promised I would wrap up and be at place in 10 minutes. So be safe, be kind, be brilliant. Until we geek again, I will say cheerio, huzzah, who just came down to say hello, huzzah. It's like you knew. There you go. And we'll talk to you soon. Cal, thank you very much for the modding. You're the best. Get some sleep. And loved you all. Cheers. Bye.